Good afternoon and welcome to this week's People to People Australia Live, our regular market update to take a look at the latest insights into recent employment and job seeker trends. I'm Kim Padmore, the Western Australian Managing Director here at People to People's Perth office. On today's show, we'll look at the recent unemployment rate for Australia. We have some new hot job opportunities across Australia as well as abroad in New Zealand and the UK. We'll look at how our recent market trends impacting Perth's talent landscape for 2024. We'll also be joined by Senior Consultant Brooke Greenfield to discuss the latest employment and market trends shaping the talent landscape across WA and how it can impact both job seekers and employers through the rest of 2024. And lastly, we'll take a look at our social media polls from last week. So let's get started with this week's Stat of the Week. Australia's headline unemployment rate was 4% in May, down 0.1 percentage points from April. The unemployment rate declined slightly because employment rose by 40,000 people in May, and the number of officially unemployed people fell by 9,000. The Bureau of Statistics says in April there had been more unemployed people than usual who were waiting to start work. So some of the fall in unemployment in May and some of the rise in employment reflected those people finally starting work. It is the highest the trend unemployment rate has been since the ABS reintroduced the trend series data in April 2022, once the tumultuous lockdown period had ended. And that's it for this week's Stat of the Week. So for our hot jobs this week, we have a project coordinator in Perth paying 70,000 plus super. The responsibilities will include assisting the project leaders, assisting with contract execution and resolution, preparing and reconciling expense claims, credit card statements, and document generation. To be considered for the role, you must have previous experience as a project coordinator and strong admin experience. Get in touch with Rachel for this one. Next up, we have a legal assistant. This one's paying 75,000 per year, inclusive of super. The responsibilities will include preparing, formatting, and amending documents and correspondence, and setting up document management. You'll also be preparing correspondence, attending to client calls, and processing billing. To be considered for this one, you must have experience working as a legal assistant or legal secretary, and you can contact Phoebe for this particular role. Now, if you're contemplating a career change or seeking your next professional venture beyond the borders of Australia in 2024, consider exploring opportunities within People to People. With offices spanning New Zealand and the UK, we're actively recruiting various positions. We also have 3 jobs abroad this week. So we have an EA position in central London paying between 60 to 80,000 pounds. We have a real estate senior associate role in Manchester paying between 80 and 120,000 pounds. And we have a senior policy advisor role based in Wellington, New Zealand, paying between 120 to 130,000 New Zealand dollars. well, we are joined today by Brooke Greenfield, Senior Consultant. So, hi, Brooke, how are you?
Hey Kim, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks. Always good on a Friday. Well, thanks for joining us today. We're really excited to get the chance to talk to you today and discuss the latest employment and market trends shaping the talent landscape across WA and how it can impact both job seekers and employers throughout the rest of 2024. So, what recent trends have you noticed that's been making an impact in the first half of this year, Brooke?
Well, I think the labour market's always been a really changeable space, so it's continually shifting in response to technological and social changes. Recent trends in the employment landscape have significantly influenced experiences and strategies of job seekers. So I think there's a couple of different areas we're seeing a change in at the moment. So remote working, obviously COVID-19, the pandemic sped up how fast people started working from home. Now it's pretty normal for most jobs to have some option for hybrid work. Lots of companies are doing a mix of working from home and going into the office, but working this way means you need to be pretty tech savvy and then also be able to manage your time quite well. People are also looking for this a lot when they're doing their job search as well, so looking for flexible hours and trying to manage that work-life balance a little bit better. The rise of AI as well, I think, has been a really big change. So new technology and robots are changing a lot of different jobs. Some jobs are completely disappearing, but that also means that there's new jobs that are arising as well. People are looking for jobs. Redo that. People looking for jobs need to keep learning new things to stay useful. Jobs and data analysis, cybersecurity, and artificial intelligence are really popular. But because of all of the automation, some people might need to find new kinds of jobs as well. The good part is that computers can help people find jobs easier with different types of recommendations and tracking systems as well.
Yeah. Okay, great. What advice do you have for job seekers that are in WA right now that may be looking to take the next step of their career?
Yeah, I think here in Perth, it's a very network and relationship driven market. So connecting with people through LinkedIn is a really good way to network, or actually going out and attending networking events. Catching up for coffees with people who are leaders that you might aspire to be like, or people who are in positions that you aspire to be in. I think those are all really good ways to learn and grow and kind of hear about what's going on at different companies and where you might see yourself sitting in the long term as well.
Yeah, excellent. Some great advice. We also have your information on screen here and in the comments. So anyone wanting to get in touch with Brooke can do so. So thanks so much for joining us today, Brooke.
No worries. Have a good day, Karen.
You too. And then finally, let's take a quick look at our social media polls for this week. Okay, so taking a look at our Twitter poll from last week. So the question that we asked was, have you ever misinterpreted or sent an inappropriate emoji by accident at work before? And 56% of people said that yes, they had. We'll now move to this week's Twitter poll. So we've put out there, so in the last 12 months, have you used sick leave for anything other than being sick? So it'll be interesting once we get these results back. So make sure you vote. All right, so also jump onto people's social media across LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and X to have your say, and to also stay ahead of the job market and to be the first to hear about any new opportunities across Australia. That is it for today. So thank you so much for joining us on this week's P2P Live. We'll be back next week to cover the latest market and employment updates across Australia at 12:30. So see you then.